October 6th is a day that changed the life of 19-year-old Sarah forever. On that day, while sending this text message, Sarah crashed head-on with oncoming traffic.
911, address of your emergency.
We have a very bad wreck at Market Street in 46. We got a kid in the car upside down. I'm not sure it's looking good for the driver.
I'm watching them right now. They have the baby in their hands. They're getting the baby. They got the baby out of the car.
I never thought that that would happen to me. And I was told a million times about how dangerous it was, and I never listened. And then because I didn't think it happened to me, and it did.
Sarah had just taken her young nephew to Walmart to look at Halloween costumes.
And when we were done, we got in the car just like normal. I buckled him up in his car seat and drove off without putting on my seatbelt.
On her way home, she was texting and driving.
And I almost crashed, but didn't.
Sarah looked down to respond to a text she had received from a friend asking, "Are you home?" and began to respond by typing the letter N.
And I didn't get the O on, I only had the N, and I was starting to go into the ditch. So I fixed myself, and I overturned too much into the other lane.
What's the address of your emergency?
1332 North Market.
An oncoming car swerved to miss hitting Sarah's vehicle head-on. But Sarah's vehicle hit the swerving vehicle on the passenger side, and according to witness statements, went airborne and began to roll. It landed upside down, with Sarah partially ejected and pinned beneath the driver's side door frame and the pavement. Sarah's vehicle was then struck by a second vehicle.
When I was ejected, landed on both my clavicles, both my collarbones, landed across my chest, breaking those. So I had to get a plate put in to one of them.
Sarah wasn't wearing her safety belt, and she sustained serious injuries during the crash. Her nephew, who was properly secured in his car seat, was not injured.
And having all these injuries, it's really painful. And especially having my nephew in the car, I could have killed him. And I wouldn't have been able to live with that.
Her injuries left her unable to use her arms.
All the skin is gone on my arm, so I have to get a skin graft, which they have to take some of my skin off my body, off my thigh, with the machine and stitch it back on.
During her time in the hospital, Sarah had to learn how to walk and use her arms again. She spent a lot of time in physical and occupational therapy.
It's physical therapy, and it pretty much helps me learn how to regain my strength walking and going upstairs, bending down, just everything in life that you're gonna have to do, because when I first got in here, I couldn't walk and I couldn't use my arms. I couldn't even feed myself for the first 2 weeks.
Since her crash, Sarah has joined forces with the Ohio State Highway Patrol and the Ashtabula County Drive to Survive program that teaches juvenile traffic offenders the dangers of texting while driving.
You wouldn't think how texting and driving could be so dangerous, and how easily you could lose everything over just a little text.
If you're distracted, you're not driving.